Hey, so this is a video I've been wanting to make for a long time, trying to give everyone an update on my health stuff. Because I feel like I finally actually have a decent understanding of what's going on, and I feel like I can kind of tell the story. So I'll try to be quick about it. um, so for the last like 5 years, my health has been very bad. Lots of pain in my back, and I've been troubleshooting it a lot, lots of physical therapy, and I've watched a million videos and blah, 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 and just not getting much success. A lot of the normal solutions weren't really working for me, and my x-rays all looked normal, so nothing like a surgery seemed like it would help. I was just stuck and in a lot of pain for like 5 years. But about a year ago, a physical therapist I saw diagnosed me with hypermobility Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, or they call it EDS. And the best way I can explain it is I like to use an analogy of like a shed where you've got a bunch of pieces of wood that are all nailed together or screwed together or whatever. And my body, in some places, for me particularly my shoulders, my middle and lower back, and my hips are all hypermobile. They're too flexible. They go farther than a normal person's does, and that leads to my body becoming unbalanced and asymmetrical. Kind of like on a shed, if there's like one particular side of it where all the nails were only went in halfway, things would start pulling apart on one side of the shed. But if you just left it alone for long enough, you would start seeing problems in other places because the load isn't balanced. It would start getting like kind of twisted. Some of the boards would get bent because some of them would be pushing too hard and other ones wouldn't be holding up anything at all. And I always love when I'm driving down the freeway looking at like old structures that have just, been lost to time, right? And when you look at a structure that's just not been maintained for years and years, if you were to look at it and try to figure out, well, what was the like original problem with it? What was the first place that came loose or got damaged or something? And if you just were to neglect the structure for years and years, you'll just see damage all over the place, and there kind of wouldn't really be a way to figure out what the original problem was, because there's a feedback loop. It's compounding, right? Like the problem in one place eventually causes problems in another one, and the whole structure starts falling apart. I now kind of understand that that's what's been happening with my body, where particularly my hips and my back were so flexible that my body was becoming less and less symmetrical every year. And you wouldn't tell by just looking at me. Everyone who looks at me standing up would say that I look like I have pretty good posture. And for a normal person whose hips can't get that out of alignment, it probably does look pretty good. But for me, what it basically meant was there were muscles in my back that were compensating for me not being symmetrical enough. Those muscles would just have to work all day long. They would never get to rest. And what happens eventually is, unlike a normal person where your maybe you work in the yard really hard one day and, oh, I'm super sore. Well, what you do is you just rest for like 48 hours, and then they kind of reset and your muscles feel normal again. The problem is my muscles were never able to get a break because they were just working all day, every day. Like every day I wanted to stand up and do stuff, those muscles would just be working extra. Particularly, I now know so like I've been able to kind of rewind everything and figure I think I know where the original problem was, because I'm at a point now where there's only one place that hurts. And that's my erector spinae. It's the stuff just to the side of your spine on the right side for me, kind of in the middle of my back. Those muscles didn't get to relax for just years and years and years. And the more time that went by where I couldn't fix it, the more angry they got, to a point where resting wouldn't get them to relax anymore. Nothing got them to fully relax. They just hurt all day, all the time. So, and with EDS, I joined a lot of Facebook groups and I've read a lot of stories and stuff. So, they call it flare-ups, is when your muscles are just like super irritated to the point where they don't really recover properly. And that was kind of the system that I've come up with recently to communicate to Mary what my status is from day to day. So a micro flare-up is when I'm starting to have serious pain, and I need to stop the activity that I'm doing, and rest for basically like half a day, and I'll kind of get back to normal. So I call those micro flare-ups. A mini flare-up is a bit more serious, where like the pain is more severe and I have to take an entire day off, and I probably have to do some techniques like smashing it or using heat and stuff like that to try to get it's harder to make it go away. It takes longer, it hurts more. So I would call that a mini flare-up. And a major flare-up is when the muscle is so mad that even if I rest for several days in a row, it just hurts nonstop, even when I'm resting, and it doesn't get better. There's nothing I can do. Or like it takes ongoing work for several days, doing lots of treatments on the muscle to get it to even kind of relax. To give you an idea of where I've been, like for the last 5 years, it's just been nonstop mini flare-ups and major flare-ups, just all the time. So for like the last 5 years, I've had to reduce the amount that I work or quit jobs. I've had to give up hobbies. I don't play disc golf anymore. I barely juggle anymore. It's been rough. Like I can only stand up. I mean, every amount of standing was painful, but like I could only do it in 20-minute bursts at most, and then I was risking a major flare-up. So, it's been a rough 5 years, and things have just been progressively getting worse because it's a positive feedback loop, unfortunately. Like the longer the muscle spends continuing to be messed up, the more messed up it gets and the harder it is to fix. So I've been in this just unbelievable feedback loop where everything's just getting worse no matter what I try to do. So in the last year, I feel like I've finally kind of figured out what's going on. There's two problems. The first one is my body needs to get symmetrical alignment again to even give the muscles a chance to be happy. So I have to change my body and figure out which parts to change and how to change it. The second one is I also need to get the muscles to relax somehow. If I can't get the muscles to relax, then no matter what changes I make to my body, they all feel terrible. The muscles will just continue to be in a lot of pain no matter what position I'm in or how I use my body. So kind of battling on two fronts. And this year I've made big breakthroughs on both. So I started getting dry needling treatments, which is just this amazing. I got amazing results with that, where it allows my muscles to actually kind of recover and relax for a few days, which bought me precious time to experiment with different exercises and stuff to try to change my body and get it to be more symmetrical. And yeah, between that and just experimenting with stuff, one by one, I got the different places on my back, the different muscles to stop hurting so much. And, but it was a long process because I got to a point where there were tons of different places that were hurting. Like the first muscle hurt so bad that other muscles were doing extra work to help my body stay upright and move and stuff. So I had to get dry needling in all sorts of places, but one by one, I I got rid of the pain in this place and this place and this place, and I was able to balance everything. And yeah, now the erector spinae on the right side in the thoracic region, that's the only place that still hurts. So, and I'm at a point now where I haven't had any major flare-ups in like 2 weeks. And it's just been micro flare-ups. So just things where I need to take a break, and then 5 hours later I'm good again, and I'm doing more amounts of activity. So yeah, I'm kind of getting sort of back to my normal life. I went to juggling club last night, and my body did pretty well, and I can do yard work again. So the reason I haven't made a video like this for so long is because I didn't know what the heck was going on, and I kept being like, well, I'm not going to make a video until I feel like I at least think I know what the solution is. And now I think I do. Like, I think I've been gradually getting better, and I've really improved a lot in like the last week or two. It's been very exciting. Lots of really good results. I've figured out the exercise to get my hips to be the same flexibility on both sides again. So, but yeah, so that's my health update. I don't know what the next year of my life's gonna look like because everything's been so chaotic. It's kind of weird trying to get back to sort of normal. You know, a lot of my hobbies and friendships and the way that I lived my life and spent my time really changed. You know, I haven't been traveling much lately because my body couldn't do it. So there it is. That's my update. I'm excited about what's to come, but it's a big shift for me, and I wanted to share it with everyone. Thanks for listening.